Welcome to Mindful Mistro as our investigation dig deep into some of the most sinister figures in history. These are the individuals the FBI desperately wants you to forget about. Prepare to delve into the depths of human depravity as we uncover the top 15 evil people that haunt the annals of law enforcement. Number 15. Ivan Milat, known as the Backpacker Murderer. This Australian serial killer terrorized the outback, preying on unsuspecting travelers. His crimes shocked the world and left a trail of devastation in his wake. Number 14. Leonard Lake and Charles Ng, partners in crime. These two men orchestrated a house of horrors in California, where they tortured and murdered numerous victims. Their twisted fantasies knew no bounds, making them some of the most despicable criminals in history. Number 13. Aileen Wuornos, dubbed the Monster of Florida. Wuornos was a prostitute turned serial killer who targeted men along the highways of the Sunshine State. Her troubled past and violent tendencies led to a reign of terror that shocked the nation. Number 12. Ted Kaczynski, the infamous Unabomber. Kaczynski waged a one-man war against modern society, sending mail bombs that killed and maimed innocent people. His manifesto and anti-technology ideology earned him a place in history as one of the most dangerous domestic terrorists. Number 11. Richard Ramirez, known as the Night Stalker. Ramirez terrorized the streets of Los Angeles in the 1980s, committing a string of brutal murders, assaults, and burglaries. His devilish grin and sinister deeds earned him a place in the nightmares of many. Number 10. John Wayne Gacy. Beneath his clown costume lurked a twisted monster. Gacy, also known as the Killer Clown, raped and murdered at least 33 young men and boys, burying many of them beneath his house. His double life shocked his community and horrified the nation. Number 9. Jeffrey Dahmer, the Milwaukee Cannibal. Dahmer's gruesome crimes shocked the world. He lured young men to his apartment, where he drugged, killed, and dismembered them. His apartment became a chamber of horrors, with body parts scattered throughout. Number 8. Charles Manson, a master manipulator. Manson orchestrated a series of brutal murders in the late 1960s, including the infamous Tate LaBianca killings. His followers carried out his commands without question, leaving a trail of blood and chaos in their wake. Number 7. Osama bin Laden, the mastermind behind the 9/11's terrorist attacks. Bin Laden's name became synonymous with evil. His fanaticism and hatred led to the deaths of thousands of innocent people and forever changed the course of history. Number 6. Adolf Hitler, the epitome of evil. Hitler's reign of terror led to the deaths of millions during World War II. His fascist ideology and genocidal policies forever stained human history, leaving behind a legacy of suffering and devastation. Number 5. Joseph Stalin, the Soviet dictator, responsible for the deaths of millions. Stalin's ruthless regime crushed dissent and instilled fear throughout the nation. His purges and forced famines left a scar on the soul of Russia that still lingers to this day. Number 4. Pol Pot, the leader of the Khmer Rouge. Pol Pot's reign of terror in Cambodia led to the deaths of nearly 2 million people. His radical policies and brutal tactics devastated the country and plunged it into chaos for years to come. Number 3. Idi Amin, the self-proclaimed butcher of Uganda. Amin's rule was marked by violence, repression, and human rights abuses. His despotic regime left a legacy of fear and suffering that still haunts the people of Uganda to this day. Number 2. Saddam Hussein, the tyrant of Iraq. Hussein's brutal regime was marked by oppression, torture, and genocide. His invasion of Kuwait sparked the Gulf War, and his defiance of the international community ultimately led to his downfall. And finally, Number 1. James Whitey Bulger, the most notorious mobster in FBI history. Bulger ruled the streets of Boston with an iron fist, committing countless murders, extortion, and racketeering. His reign of terror lasted for decades, and his capture in 2011 sent shockwaves through the criminal underworld. These are the individuals the FBI wants you to forget about, but their crimes will never be erased from history. Join us next time as we delve deeper into the shadows of the human psyche and uncover even more secrets that the powers that be don't want you to know.